So get this. Midtown Comics told me I saved over $137 by ordering comic books with them. Did I really? Okay, so yeah, I'm ordering from Midtown Comics again, and the first order I received, which was kind of like a test order, I was testing the waters, trying to see, did some updated shipping methods or packing techniques on behalf of Midtown Comics make it so that I was receiving the books in better condition. As I had mentioned in my previous unboxing video for Midtown, I'd run into a bad streak where I just kept getting damaged shipments from them. And I finally realized after just doing the calculations that it wasn't worth it, even if books were on sale. So after I got the test order and felt pretty comfortable and confident, I went ahead and placed a few other orders with them, and I want to unbox the first of those orders. And I took advantage of one of their sales. Now, Midtown, instead of doing kind of a ongoing coupon code like Mile High or a lot of other sites will use like 10% off codes, especially a lot of YouTube channels give away those coupons. And they're just they're always good. Midtown will run flash sales, and sometimes they last one day, sometimes it's several days, maybe it's a weekend. And I like to take advantage of some. I stay away from the 99-cent sale. They ship those books without bags and boards. And I mean, those books are all kind of, rubbing together and having a good time in that shipment. So I do prefer the bag and board option. However, they will run a flash sale, sometimes as deep as 70%, 80% when they're trying to liquidate some of their backstock. So this order that I'm going to unbox is one of those orders where I got a steep discount on most of the books. I think all of them, as I'm looking at the details here. And right at the bottom of the order, the invoice, the receipt, it says you saved $137.21. And I'm like, great. But of course, I had to spend a lot of money to save that much, which is typically the case when things are on sale. But anyway, so let me unbox this, and then I'm going to see if everything arrives safely and securely. My fingers are crossed because, again, one of the reasons I'm doing this is when Midtown was good, they were very good. Their books were in high grade. Yes, most of them were new, but I was getting a lot of modern back issues as well, and those were coming in somewhere between 9.4 and 9.8. And again, as I was kind of combing through my inventory and getting books slabbed last year, I realized that a lot of the slabs that I got from my raw book collection, in terms of moderns and new releases from the last 5 years, I would say, a lot of them came from Midtown. So I wanted to give them a try again. So now this is my first attempt in 2022 to buy from Midtown. And these are books that were on sale, and hopefully they're on sale and still mint, and not on sale because were previously damaged or just in poor condition. They're all listed as near mint, so let's unbox and see what's inside. All right, so let's get to the unboxing. This is the standard Midtown cardboard box that everything comes in, and let's go ahead and open it up. All right, and as always, the best bubble wrap in all of comic book shipping or any sort of shipping is right here. So check this out. This is that paper bag that I've talked about, and it's torn. You could see here. I mean, this is part of the problem I have. Now, I got lucky last time. I didn't feel like anything was damaged, but why is that ripped inside? It's ripped because that paper bag is too thin, and the books slide around in transit, and are smacking against the paper bag, and eventually it just tears. Just the weight of the books. Why they do this, I have no idea. This is the way they've been doing this for as long as I've been ordering with them, and I ordered from them even before this current iteration of comic book collecting that I'm part of. My fingers are crossed that everything's cool. So there's that giant tear. And again, I am just hoping, and you see like right there, see how the bag catches the corner? I'm not saying these are damaged. We will find out here momentarily. But it just drives me crazy when there's a better way to do it. That bubble wrap's great, but it's not holding the books in place. And that's the problem. So if the books are good, trying to stay positive. If they're not damaged, if they're in good shape, then they're going to be great. But it's just unfortunate that you have to gamble like this with your comics. And they're just piled on, just one giant stack. So here we go. And yeah, it's a lot of comics, and I'll show you why here in a second. I was able to get so many because I was able to take advantage of the sale. All right, so let's go through these. I guess that's what we'll have to do. I'm already seeing like those little things just make me nervous because then that one has it, this one doesn't, so it looks okay. Normally, when there are damaged shipments, the boards are severely damaged. So I think it's going to be fine. I think we're okay. So let me just show you the books that I got. All right. So I got some good ones. And these are all recent releases, but I took advantage of their flash sale. And I'll go through the price breakdown, what I paid. And my goal with this, just so you know, is I want to figure out if that comment about how much money I saved is actually true or not. So I'm going to look through what did I pay for these and what is that fair market value of these books currently, and see how much fair market value I added to my collection, and see if who's right, me or Midtown. Here we go. Superman Son of Kal-El #1. This is the third printing. All right, so here's a great example. So this is an incentive. This is Hulk #1. This is the Art Adams variant. So a lot of these, I forget the actual percentage discount varied, but these were the kind of books that I was targeting because this has, well, it's stickered twice, once for $40 and once for $40.50. And I did not pay that much. So I got all of these at a hefty discount, but heard good things about Hulk, and I wanted to grab the incentives around #1. I had just the standard cover A's. Here's another incentive for Hulk. This is the Simone Bianchi variant of Hulk #1. So I believe the Art Adams was a 1 in 50, and this is the 1 in 25. House of Slaughter, Midtown will do this too. They'll bag and board upside down and backwards, so I apologize for that. This is House of Slaughter #1. This is the foil, and they probably put the foil side down just to kind of protect it. But House of Slaughter kind of came and went as far as the first issue goes. And I think that it was so heavily ordered, and then Midtown just had a bunch left in their backstock. Here's the Jay Lee second printing, tough white cover. Looks really good, nice and clean from Midtown. And again, with that super discount, and they're trying to move this back stock of issues, I was able to get them much cheaper than cover. This is cover B. Obviously, it's just the back. Can't see it. It's not helping matters. This is another foil variant, and they're all backwards. Look at that, House of Slaughter, and this is just the regular cover A. And this is cover L. This is the Miguel Mercado second printing. Really boring to show you the backs of comics, but that's how Midtown does it sometimes. This is Nick's #1. This is the Lucio Perillo cover. All of her is covered in flames, don't worry. Venom #1. So Al Ewing and Donny Cates switched titles. They switched Venom and Hulk So this is Venom number 1 by Al Ewing, and that is just the regular cover A. And then somewhere in there, I also got another incentive. I picked up Joy Operations number 1. Again, it was really cheap. This is the new Brian Michael Bendis creator-owned story that he's now publishing with Dark Horse, and figured why not. Again, these were all on sale, so I'd take a chance. Black Panther Volume 8 number 1. This is the Alex Ross cover. Alex Ross is amazing. Just can't go wrong with him. And Black Panther number 1 cover A. Here's another incentive I picked up. This is Kate Bishop Hawkeye. I believe this is the 1 in 25. And I haven't read her new series. I enjoyed the Hawkeye Disney Plus show, so I figured why not. And this one I will turn around and take out because this is an interesting book. This is Animal Castle number 1. And while I have it open, I'm just going to look at it real quickly here. And looks to be really, really good shape. I don't see any impact damage. That's normally where you see it, as a giant corner crunch. Trying to be careful as I hold it. This cover typically gets fingerprints on it. Little bit of a dent right in there. But spine's in really, really good shape. Don't want to just slip out of my hand. So I'll grade these a little more carefully, but I would say worst case, that one looks to be a 9.6 and has the potential to be a 9.8 there. I wanted to just stop a moment and show you this one because this is an example of a book that kind of went crazy. Not crazy like Timeless number 1 crazy or Death of Doctor Strange Bloodstone crazy, but definitely started getting some hype. It was optioned like as it came out, and hard to find and all of that. And then Midtown just had a bunch, and they just put a limit 1 per customer. And I went ahead and ordered one. I did pay double cover price for that, but it was discounted from their inflated price. So Midtown will do that too, where they will not really speculate on a book, but they will definitely understand that a recently released comic has gone up in value, and they will adjust their prices accordingly. Whether or not you agree with that is beside the point. It's their private business, and that's what they do. And a lot of times, even at their inflated price, if you wait long enough, if the book keeps climbing, it's still a good deal. And then they do that discount, and then it drops down to, I would say, something normal. Like you might see this on an Instagram show where somebody's going, hey, remember this Animal Castle? Let's do $10 for this one, right? And it's a beat up copy. And I got it for less than $10 from Midtown, and it's a 9.8 candidate. So there you go. Here is Batman Fear State Omega. This is a Jorge Jimenez variant. Love Jimenez, just a wonderful artist. Had that tremendous run on Batman with James Tynion. I love his design covers, and I picked those up, so I wanted to grab that. Thing number 1. This is just the cover A. Some issues of Thing kind of popped in value, and it's a Thing regular series starring him, and so I figured why not. This is a Venom number 1. This is the Sienkiewicz incentive, and I want to look at this, so I'm going to open this, turn it around. Yeah, love Sienkiewicz. Probably not a 9.8 candidate due to that crease at the bottom. I think that could be pressed, although I think it's color breaking, so probably a pressed would maybe just kind of assure this as a 9.6, although there's one at the top as well. Right there in the light, I'll catch it for you. Right there, that's trouble. Spine looks pretty good, so if I could press that out, maybe it's a sneaky 9.8, but probably just a solid 9.6 in a worst case, assuming there's not a lot of color rub, but wanted to get that because of Sienkiewicz. What's the I'll try that one again. What's the furthest place from here? Number 1. I got a bunch of these. This is the cover B, and it's a limit 1 per customer. I missed this I don't think I pre-ordered it. I might have from TIFO. I don't remember, but it's not listed in my collection in my ledger. So I wanted to grab these. Scotty Young, limit one per customer. So I'll do that too. Sometimes I go on Midtown and I, instead of searching for the book I want, I search for limit one per, or just type out one per customer or something like that. And then it will list all of the books that Midtown thinks it needs to limit. And most of the time they're wrong. They don't need to limit some of the books. And sometimes they're right. And when you see the books there that have popped that are limit one per customer, remember it's limit one per order. So you could actually place multiple orders and get them. This is the incentive version of What's the Furthest Place from Here, number one. Love Martin Simmons. And this is his 1 in 25 incentive for that book. And then two more Joy operations. I just got cover A, B, and C, I believe, for the new Bendis series. So that is the stack. That is the stack of books that I got. Now what I'd like to do is show you the order so you can see what I paid for them, and let's compare the current fair market value to what I paid. And did I really save all of that money that Midtown said I did? Let's find out here. All right, so here is the order from Midtown, placed January 4th, 2022. And you can see here, I spent $121.68. I did get the free shipping, but tax was $10.55. So that was spread out here in column Z. Total cost adding up to $121.68 after distributing the tax amount across all of the books here. So the original question I had posed is, did I actually save money? And it's a kind of a weird question, right? Because these books are marked up, a lot of them, like Animal Castle number one was marked up to a point, I think it was $20, and then there was a discount off of that $20, but that's not cover price. So was I really saving money? I don't. It's a hard question to really answer. So this is how I'm going to try and approach it and answer it. I'm going to look at the fair market value of each book, and then look at the cost and see, did I buy the book under fair market value, and if so, what did it add up to? So here are, in column U, are the fair market values of the books. And if I look at, just kind of move it over here, look at column AA for raw profit, we'll see that these books were profitable. Some were, like Animal Castle, like I said, still buying it for a total cost of $9.76. And I think I do want to see here we go, column U is in here. So I bought it for $9.76, had a fair market value of $14.95 as of the recording of this video, so profited $5.19. So not bad for one book. You'd think that sort of trend would continue, but it doesn't. I have a example of a bigger loser here. This is the Arthur Adams. Even though it's a 1 in 50, I bought it for $16.66, and it has a fair market value of $13.52. So that's kind of rough for a 1 in 50. Even the 1 in 25 Bianchi is actually a loss here at negative 68 cents. So paying right around fair market value, even though it was a 1 in 25 and it was discounted. So that's tough. And this is where you're pre-ordering those incentives. And I stopped doing that. I really did. I because of situations like this, the 1 in 25 were typically available for $19 or $19.99 or $17.99 from Things from Another World. And then the 1 in 50s were, I think, $39.99. I'll have to go back through my orders, but I pray that I did not pre-order the Art Adams Hulk 1 for $39.99. They just don't. You'll see on occasion one of those incentives just start skyrocketing. But it's super rare to have that happen. More often than not, I found that the incentives were not paying off, so I stopped pre-ordering the incentives. And you can kind of catch them later. And again, I have theories on incentives after they're graded, whether they actually hold their incentive value or if they kind of fall back down a little bit. It has to be a very, very specific incentive that people are seeking for it to really establish itself beyond what I would say maybe double cover A. It's typically where they fall. Anyway, so raw profit, let's look at the total here. Just getting off on a tangent. $42.45. So that's the entire order, the total value. Again, it's not profit because I'm not selling these per se, but the value of these books, I've added $42.45 of value to my collection by buying this collection of books from Midtown. The CGC profit I won't go over, and I'll show you why, because these are all, if you look at column F, these are all books from 2021. So they just don't really have any necessarily like slab values across all the grades. There are some 9/8, I'm sure, just for fun, again, kind of doing this the way I do other stores. If we put everything in a 9/4, there's just no recorded sales of any of these books at 9/4, so they're all zero. It's certainly possible that some of these have 9/8. Let's see, the Animal Castle at a 9/8. I guess that didn't have one. Let me just turn them all 9/8. Let's see which ones have values here. Yeah, not many. So some of the House of Slaughter books are valuable in a 9/8. Looks like $35 and up. Superman Son of Kal-El third print in a 9/8. That's hard to believe. I wonder if that's actually pulling the cover A's 9/8 value instead. Venom $67. The Sienkiewicz variant $75. I don't believe the Sienkiewicz variant was a 9/8, but and then furthest place from here, and this is what I'm talking about. So look at 6346. So this is the Simmons 1 in 25, discounted down at Midtown for $12.75 off of the $25 or $19.99 or $17.99, or whatever that ratio incentive price is. Now in a CGC 9/8, it's just twice as much as the cover A. But from a cost perspective, it was 5 times more, so, or 4 times more, I should say. 4 to 5 times more. And that's only twice. That's what I'm saying is as things get slabbed, it seems like the ratios, that ratio calculation kind of falls off, which I don't really understand. So it would make more sense to buy 10 copies of what's the furthest place from here, number 1, cover B. Buy 5 copies of those, hope they're all 9/8, send them all in, get those slabbed and sell them instead of buying the 1 in 25 over and over. It just doesn't make good financial sense after a while if you're going to slab these again, unless for one particular reason or another that incentive is desirable for some reason, and it could be maybe the character inside that people are speculating on shows up on the cover or something. At any rate, yeah, so the 9.8, let's see, where is the CGC profit? It's still negative. Again, these are new books, so that calculation doesn't really have any meaning here. It's not relative to this order. We're really just looking at this column AA. So all in all here, it was still a value add to my collection, more or less. I mean, when I'm buying a lot of these newer books from Midtown, and they're it's like a recent back issue order, in recent, somewhere between 3 to 6 months ago from the time that I ordered. I think the release date on some of these was November 21, and I ordered these in January, so maybe 2 months. You're not going to get a lot of GPA data to really kind of determine whether or not it was a smart order and an intelligent use of the money. So some of this, I would say, maybe has a little bit more of a weight to it. It's a longer term investment, not long term. I mean, these are short and medium term investments too, but I think that these were good buys at a discount. So imagine if I didn't use that 60% discount, and my cost was really double, and you plug in the amount that Midtown says that you saved and apply that back to your purchase price, and the order looks rough. A lot of those books, I would not have bought them all if I had to pay cover or at ratio prices. It would have been a really disappointing total there. So again, look for these discounts, look for these flash sales, and you got to be ready. You have to have your analysis set up and ready to go. You have to be scouting books, understanding prices, understanding the supply in the market, where you can get these books. And then if a flash sale pops and you see books for like $1.80, and you're like, yeah, I think it's time to pick that book up, makes sense, then you're ready to strike. Because just like when you see that character show up on the screen and you're on the clock, a lot of times when these sales hit, you're on the clock to figure out which books you want to get before the sale ends and take possession of those books. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.